Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. My name is Nilaus, and we are back here with another episode of our glorious Let's Play tutorial series. And today is going to be more tutorial than Let's Play, but don't worry, there will also be an awesome design towards the end. So if you, but before you get to that awesome design, which is, really, really awesome. But then I'm going to drag you through some spreadsheets, because sometimes that's how we play Factorio. That's why I didn't stream yesterday, was because I was deep diving into a stupid spreadsheet, and I'm going to be now inflicting that upon you. So why we're going to inflict some spreadsheets upon you, I'm saying to all the 7 viewers still remaining. But you're also welcome to scrub through and find where I actually do design work later on. Right, so there is this age-old question of Factorio and Factorio Space Age, age-old, like almost 5 weeks old. And that is, what is the best way to upcycle to higher quality? Is it by crafting with quality modules and then recycling with quality modules? Or is it crafting with productivity modules and then recycling with quality modules? So the two different philosophies is, the quality one is basically, well, I want higher quality so that we get as high quality whenever possible, while the productivity strategy says, well, let's get as many as possible of the current quality we have so that we have more chances of upcycling it. And of course, there are many different variables, such as, for example, we're focusing here on the red ones, because the blue ones have a special research that makes it very much better than the other ones. So we don't focus on that, but that is part of the equation. Now, what I've done is then I made the spreadsheets that can do all these calculations for us, so we can see what is better in our particular case, and also let me explore different options without building it and waiting 2 hours to get some benchmarks, but actually do some calculations. So I'm going to be providing the spreadsheet in the comment section below if I remember. If I don't remember, then be sure to yell at me until I remember it. So we're going to be testing those two strategies, but we're going to be testing them in a spreadsheet. Before I do that, I want to show you something that was sort of my misconception about how quality works. This is from the wiki. So what I thought, what it says here is that if you have, in this case, 24.8% chance of quality, that is for legendary modules, quality modules, then you have 1 minus the quality chance of getting a normal, and that means you have this 24.8 chance of getting a quality. But that could be 1 step up, there could be 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps up. And the thing is that the 1 step up is pretty much almost the case, but I thought, and this is where I was wrong, maybe you were as well, I thought that if I had 23% chance here, 23.5, then I would have 23% chance of getting 1 level up, and then it would be 23.5% of that chance that it got another level up, and then 23.5% of that to get 1 more level up. But it's not. It is, as we can see here, it is unfortunately only 10% chance to get a double proc, and 10% chance of that to get a triple proc, and a 10% chance of that to get a quad proc. That makes it significantly worse, and also kind of degrades the quality strategy a little bit, because, well, the double, triple procs are less likely. But anyway, that's catered for in my spreadsheet. So without further ado, let's look at the spreadsheet and how it works. Let's see, that is going to be here. Ooh, look at that. That's actually not what we wanted to look at to start with. We wanted to look at this part here. So what do we have? We have 7 things that you input, and then we have the output here. Everything else is just calculations and hard-coded values. I've hard-coded the crafting of legendaries so that no matter what strategy you're going to use, you will always use productivity, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense to use quality on an already legendary craft. So I've set the sample size. I'm setting the total crafting productivity. The total crafting productivity is 1.5 if you're using quality strategy, or it is, if over here, it is 2.75 if you use the productivity strategy. And here I'm not using blue circuits, which has a special higher productivity. I am using legendary modules for all of it, because that's the consistent level. So here, for example, you can see that we have 2.75 total crafting productivity, and then the crafting quality is 0, while on the other side here it is 1.5 and then 0.31. That's the 5 module quality legendary quality modules in an EM plant. And then the recycling quality is always going to be the same. So if I do, we can then also set what we want to keep So for example, right now I want to keep both the rare, epics, and legendaries, and then I get this spread, expected spread, if I put 10,000 in. So you see these numbers and go, okay. I think we want to focus on legendary only, and legendary and epic, because soon we need a lot of rares, but soon hopefully we'll be transitioning out of this. So if I do 10,000 input with the quality module, the quality strategy, and then I get, and I only keep the legendaries, then I get 760 inbound. If I do the same thing here with the quality strategy, I get 707. So a little bit more. Okay. Well, what if we sort of change it so that it is here? Then we are getting, if we're looking over here, that we get 1,000 legendary. This is the quality strategy, 1,000 epics and 350 legendaries. If you then look at productivity, then it's 1,500, but a lot less legendaries. That kind of makes sense. Like the productivity is better at retaining them at the level they're at, while the quality is sort of better at pushing upwards. But also the numbers are not that different. If we just look at the exclusive legendary strategy, then it's actually kind of close. I think that one thing I've seen other people do when they compare the two things is that they assume that you're also using quality on the legendary craft, which just wouldn't make any sense. So then I started working on what are the other alternatives. And I am also noticing something here. It stopped. Why did it stop? I don't like this. Oh, right. It stopped because it's a good news, everyone. I'm going to be making another extra one just for the epics here, because we're just getting too many epics. And therefore, we're actually already now recycling the blue circuit, blue quality red circuits, because there's just too much of it. So that's this one will catch up again. It'll just take a little bit of time to just slowly get started, and then it will sort of kick back into gear. It will self-start. We guarantee that by having this one here. So it'll self-start. You can see self-starting. Now there's a little bit more flow here, a little bit more flow, and sort of it'll loosen up. But it'll the longer it stays stuck, the longer the harder it is to get it back into gear. But we'll see, like there's much better flow now. It'll be full flow in a minute's time. Anyway, that means we now have the strategy, the two different strategies. We can test those. And but what I also want to see is, I was then curious about a combined strategy. So what if I then use a combined strategy that said, I want to take, or I typed all of them, all the different options, and basically I'm saying, for the first craft, when I get normal stuff in, I want to use quality, because then I get as much quality as possible. As fast as possible, we want more quality. Then for every subsequent step, I'm using productivity, because the argument here is that, hey, once we get some quality, let's kind of sort of get as much of it as possible. I don't know if that's like the right way, but that was kind of what my intuition said that was a better way. Let's see. So if I do this exclusively for the legendaries, I get a significantly better number than the rest, the other ones. If I do this, 700 here, and there's a summary sheet here. So if I do the mixed strategy, my legendaries will be better. That's interesting. This is the best strategy for if you only want legendaries. If I want to keep epics and legendaries, we're going to change that in all formulas here. Different strategies there. We keep it, and then we go look at the ratios. So the best one, if we do the strategy and we only look at the legendaries, then that's the quality strategy. If we do that, but looking at the productivity strategy, it's not actually that great. It has more epics, but then it has less legendaries. But the best strategy, in my opinion, based on this, if there are no sort of glaring errors, is a mixed strategy of getting this, because I get the most epic, but I get quite a lot of legendaries as well. So that is going to be my strategy moving forward. Now there is a gigantic caveat to this, and that is there's probably some essential calculation errors, but also what we see is that it's not fundamentally different. It's like, oh yeah, this strategy is a little bit better, but generally you can say that there's a balance between one and the other, and there's a little bit of trade-off there. So that's kind of the thought process here. But anyway, what I want to do is I want to say, all of this area here is going to retain as normal, as quality focused, because this is the processing of the normal. But anything beyond that, once it goes over here, will be using productivity instead. So let's set that up, and for all of them, and also just make a new a rocket silo as well. We have now upgraded this part here, where we are using productivity modules for this, the later stages, the rare, the uncommon, the rare, the legendary, the epic, and the legendary. So that will give us a lot more quantity of quality products, but less chance of upcycling. But this is how we chose to do it now, and what we're seeing now up here is that we also have quite a lot of advanced or epic quality actually ready to go. That would be nice. And then we also have that for the blues as well. They are also just being put into a box, which is actually almost full. That is disgusting. I mean, in a very good way. They kind of need to have a separate launcher for that. And I'm sure this one is... Oh, I was sure this was jammed. But that's actually surprising how little I have here. Oh, right. That's because I've just built a little default one that just kind of... just builds an extra and then recycles it back again. It's a kind of a neat way of recycling it if I need to. So we do have a lot of circuits with this build. And what are we going to use those circuits for? Well. That is what we're going to do. We're actually going to be trying to get some more of these quality modules back again. Ooh, I'm carrying valuable stuff here. So what we need to do is we need to go back to Nilaus, because I want Nilaus to be our hub for making making higher quality modules, because that's where the biter farms are going to be, because they can only be there. So let's go back to Nilaus and try to salvage as much of these quality modules as we can. Look at this beautiful thing we have here on Fulgora. This is where we are crafting all of our modules, but not anymore. That just needs to go away. Go away. I have to do this quickly before I regret it. Or before I realize how stupid of an idea it is. So I do that. And I think I don't want this one anymore to actually delete things. Yeah, let's not request things in here anymore. There we go. Because then everything will just be flagged as, oh no, it needs to get here. But what we'll do instead is actually we will be arriving with the Rocinante up here. And we're simply going to just request all of it. Just request all the stuff that is junk on this planet. So we could, for example, say, actually we need these to be much higher. I've done it on Volcanus, on Gleba, and now I'm going to do it, sort of vacuum up all the old modules, and then go like, well, do you have any of these old modules lying around? Oh, you do. You have 200. Get those in here. Then do you have any of these old modules lying around? Yeah, you do. Okay, let's get it in there. And then once sort of it's listed here as, okay, there's 49 left, then we can always do something else. This one, do we want that here? I kind of want it, but then we can just sort of vacuum up all of this, because I've now decided that I don't want to keep these on the planets anymore. I might keep the quality modules on the... Well, I am going to keep the quality modules on Fulgora because we need it. Productivity modules, I rather want to go back with rare quality productivity modules. So even though it's going to take a while for us to craft them, but still, let's try and do that. And then I will go here, Fulgora, and then we just vacuum up all the old modules. That turned out to be a little more elaborate than I had anticipated, because of course there are 5 different qualities, and then there are 3 different mark levels or tier levels. So that was cumbersome, to say the least. Let's go there and then ditch all of this crap, and then we can finally go. Let's drop off on Nilaus, and then let's start working on what we want to do here. So what I want to do is I want actually to... is it going to be here or here? I think I'm just going to scrap this part here and then use this as our foundation for what we're going to build. So we'll just put that back in. There we go. So this will be where it is, because it's pretty close to our drop off. So when we drop things off the modules, then they will drop off and then they can come in here. I think that while we are en route, we can also look at the Barbara Piccola. This is the one that has all the juicy stuff here. Oof, that is so nice. And then... Oh yeah, that's because we're launching. This one doesn't have anywhere else. Actually, it does, but I don't want it to go all these different locations. I actually only want it to go to Nilaus, because that's the only place that actually should be requesting is for now. Maybe later on, the other places will request. Oh, it's actually coming in. So let me see. I'll just take 10 times of each of these. And then we go to Nilaus. We go to our requester. Where are you at? You are here. And that one is actually not going to be there. I'm just going to set trash on selected. That's the stuff how it should be. And let's see. Then I'm going to add the groups. That is this group times 10. Oh yes. Then I'm going to add the next group. That's going to be... oh, this is an old one. It's an older code, but it checks out. And 10 of these. And the last one is, of course, the blue circuits, which we'll also just get here. And then 10 times as much of this. And that should be coming in, hopefully. Yes, look at how much we're requesting here. Yummy. It's obviously not going to be coming in, but let's try it. Where am I? I'm here. And I'll just be requesting all the stuff. And then I want to see Barber Piccola is actually here. And I mark it as drop off, unload. And that should, or kind of should not be dropping off. So now we should be seeing Barber Piccola. Yes, glorious, glorious things are dropping off here. We're also going to scrap this part here, because that's not working. We're going to scrap this part, which is going to be super fun, because that will mean that there are biter eggs everywhere in the base, which is exactly what we want. No, doesn't matter. We'll get some biter eggs here and there. Okay, so now comes the big moment of truth. We need to hold on. I just the fact that I just set those with biter eggs and then I didn't do anything about it is just a little bit too much me. There, we'll put a few of these in here. There, that's where things should be stored. Right. I'm not going to be dropping off all of the modules here. I think I need you to stop deleting stuff right now. I'm going to design something. And this is where now the design part comes in. So if you've been sort of pacing forward from not watching the, what's it called, the spreadsheet part, then that's okay. Then now is the time for us to do research or do stuff. I want to build the stuff that we just deleted on the other planets, but I wanted to just do one blueprint. So what I'd really like to do, I'd like to do a parameterized blueprint that takes here. I select the recipe. Based on that recipe, everything else cascades. That is the essence of it. So that's the recipe that I want to set. And then I want all the other ones to set. But this is going to be tricky. Because, oops, yeah, okay, so just, never mind that. Oh, never mind that. Because I'm going to just show you with one of them. That's going to be here. Actually, just make it a little bit higher quality, like that one, yeah. So what I want is, I want to select this, the quality and the tier 3, and then set how many I want. Then I want all the rest of it. I want this one to be deduced that it must be this recipe, and I want this to be deduced that it must be this recipe. Here's the thing. This has 4 ingredients, and one of the ingredients is a biter egg, but if I change this, that is 1 biter egg, but if I changed it to here, it is actually 5 spoilage. So I can't use that it's something that always is 1, because if I look at the other ones here, that's 1 tungsten carbide, this is 1 superconductor, but here it's 5 spoilers. So if it was always like 1, like so, if it was always 1, then I had a way to do this, and that would be, oh, please have those in my inventory. No. So now we have the selector combinator. So the selector combinator is really interesting because it is useless in most cases. It doesn't do as much. What I want to do is I want mode of operation select input. This funny thing is the mode of operation select input, I thought that was like choose one of the other ones, but it is actually select input is the one we want. I'm going to be sort ascending, and then I'm going to say here, and you're going to be tell me the ingredients. So now I get the ingredients in, and if I sort ascending and I choose the one with the least first, which would be perfect, then I could just do index 1. then you can take the second least amount here, which would be perfect. And then I could just take that in here. And then I'm going to do you. You are going to be set recipe, and it'll set the same. Isn't that lovely? I can do the same thing here. Then you're going to get the red inbound so it doesn't contaminate. And I'm going to do... Oh, first I'm going to do setting recipe here. Oh, I can't. I have to get that in. Then I'm going to set recipe. Set recipe. Oh, no. That should be index 0 because it should be the one that has the... Oh, and it also needs to read ingredients. Yes. So it reads ingredients and then sets the recipe. It gets it out as a... Here, and it sets the recipe there. Perfect. So that works. Except if I do that one, then it messes up. Doesn't that suck? Because now it says the second least is actually the spoilers, and then it tries to make spoilers here. So there are several ways of doing this. The silly clever way that I have come up with with the Twitch chat was actually, what if we use another one of these? And that one is looking at something as silly as the rocket capacity. So now instead of the ingredients are coming out, I'm going to send the ingredients in here. Let's see. Ingredients are coming in here. Then I get the rocket capacity. Because for whatever one I choose, the lowest rocket capacity is going to be the modules. That's lovely, isn't it? And therefore, it will actually work. I'll be able to do that. Excuse me. That's not what I wanted. Oh, no, because now it's 0. There you go. See? Now it works. And then I can switch it here to that one. It works. I can switch it to this one. And it works. And I can switch it back to the one we tried first. And it works. Yay! So this is what we want. Great. So all I need to do now is hook it up like this. Then I also need to control the inputs and outputs because that's a little bit tricky. This should be pretty simple to do because I am going to do... We'll do this one first. We're basically saying this is going to take whatever comes in and whatever comes out. Multiply by 2. Why 2? I don't know. Just because that's a number. And there. So basically it says you're going to read the ingredients. The ingredients are coming out here. That is going to be on the red wire. 5 greens and 5 reds. Then I'm going to set it in here. And then I'm going to set the mode of operation to request. And trash unrequested because whatever. That's pretty good. Then we can get started on this. But I do also have a challenge here. That challenge is I need to output as well. And when this one produces, there is a 23.5 chance that it will actually proc into a higher form, a higher quality. And I want those higher qualities to go in here, while the ones that are no normal quality go in here. That is important. How do I do that? Well, I can actually use this out here, I think. I can use that, and I'm going to take in a red wire because then it doesn't come anywhere else. Then I can take the output here and say when it is not set filter. What does that mean? Because that means this will set it up when it produces what it is expecting. This one will take anything that is not what we were sort of set the recipe. That means anything that's higher quality will be going in here. Awesome. It works. Let's do the same thing for the next one. Here. And we're going to get a red wire in here. Red wire in here. Okay. And is it requesting? It's requesting exactly what we want. And I have not set these up. And this is not set yet. So I'm going to set that from the output here. That means now it's that one. Let's do the same thing for over here, which I think works as well. And we're going to be making this like that. It goes in, multiply by 2. It goes in here, gets the biter eggs. It's wonderful. And then I am going to... Ooh, this is also going to be a little bit tricky as well, because I need 2 of these, and they should actually be set up as one is here. Yeah, let's just take this out. One is going to be anything that is not what we want. That is, and what is it we don't want? That's this one. And then, not what we want. And then this one should be anything of what we were actually requesting. Yes. However, this one should be limited in capacity to a number. That is this one, less than 1, 2, 3. Because that's something we're going to set in the parameter. Let me just set it to 100 because they shouldn't be using 100 anywhere else, and it'll be like nice default. There we go. That is going to be it. And then all we need is a little bit of light, and then we have a absolutely ridiculously good design. So I'm going to take this out. Yeah, I think I need to change the recipe for this one to that. And you're going to be changed recipe to nothing. And after this one circulates, it'll be changing to nothing. There. Good. So this is the blueprint we want to copy because I don't want any sort of residual values here. And we're going to put it in here. So we're going to do the parameterization here. That is your parameter. And then select, or it's just saying tier 3 module. And then quantity. That is now a parameter. And quantity. I'll just call it how many. There you go. This number is just in the parameter that's not relevant. This one is not relevant. And that should be all we need for this because it derives everything itself. Cool. Let's use it. So that goes away. This one is we'll keep it around. And we're going to go down here and then start making some kind of design here where we want to make it. I think I want to have, yeah, I want this to be exactly in the middle because I need it on both sides. There we go. And you're going to need a little bit, kind of a lot of space for this. There. That's a pretty damn good position, isn't it? This is almost, and this is overlapping with 2. Okay, so the whole thing needs to be just moved one tile up. There we go. That's going to be in the middle. Perfect. So we do our new and glorious blueprint. I'm going to set it up here. And I will then do it for all the quality levels for all of the modules. And it's going to be speed, efficiency, productivity, and quality. However, some are more important than others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the quality down here. No, the productivity. So I'm going to do that one. And then we'll set up the whole thing. So the beauty of this is really how quick it is to set up. There, I want 100 of those. I want 500 of those. Those are going to be my primary ones. And because I'm going to get a lot of rare quality circuits. And then we'll try to get a few of these. If we can get 500, I'll take it. And then the last one is going to be the legendaries. Zip. If we can get 500 of those, I am not saying no. And then we do the same thing for all the other ones. This one is... Oh, do I actually like where I placed it? It looks like I placed the whole damn thing one tile down because that's just how we do things here. There you go. That's better. Yep. Good. Then I am going to use, again, the blueprint. That'll now be here. And we do the same thing for modules there. You don't have to make all of these intermediates. But the reason why I didn't want to make it as one big blueprint was because when you start up, you don't have access to epic and legendary. So you don't need those. You can't use those. So if I put it all in, then it wouldn't work. So I put it here, and then maybe you're at a stage where you don't want to craft the normals and the uncommon ones. You just want to craft the good ones, for example. And then you can do that. So this is why I made it as a modular blueprint that you then have to stamp down 20 times depending on which ones you actually want. But, you know, it's not really, as you can see here, it's not really a big deal of how much. Do I want to keep that? No, not really. I don't think that's the one that I really want. I think that the one that I'm really interested in is this one. And then, of course, the legendary as well. I'll also take 500. Yes, thank you very much. And then we get the other ones, which will be here. But there is a problem with this once it's done. We'll take a look at it once it's done. So this is now done, and there are actually a few issues here. One of them is the fact that we have biter nests, so we should be making sure that we protect it. And I'm going to protect it with Tesla turrets because they are nice. And 2, 3, 4 there, and there as well. And we're just going to smash them up here. Then that should make it pretty damn safe if these ones decide to have some biter spawns. That was not really the problem. The problem though is if you look at it, then something, the 6B modules. Yeah, tungsten carbide, tungsten carbide, tungsten carbide in various quantities here. Spoilage in various legendary spoilage. I don't know what legendary spoilage is. This here, so that is a challenge. All this needs to be brought in. The only thing we actually have is biter eggs, but we're not really producing them, and we're certainly not producing them in quantities that we can sort of throw legendaries around. So now that we have the infrastructure, but unfortunately we don't really have the means to utilize all this glorious infrastructure that we have. So we are in a little bit of a pinch here, which will be definitely something we want to work on in the upcoming episodes, because what we will do is we will let's just make something that's somewhat symmetrical here. What we will do is then focus on some of the stuff that we can do for upgrading. That one here, and should I also make them here? Yes, let's do that. Yeah, that feels like it's a lot of roboports. Cool. Right, so for example, we're going to make a biter farm in the next episode, so we can get this productivity up and running. The most important is the productivity and the quality modules. As you can see here, the quality modules are not actually there, which is bad, because if I don't have enough quality modules, then I am not actually getting the quality modules here. Yeah, that's like, oh right, there's actually something we'd want to do this, put the legendaries on the ones that are most important. Also here and here, those are the ones that I think we're going to use the most. Yeah, so whenever we have some legendaries, let's put those in. I think this process here is the one that runs the most, so let's also waste our remaining quality modules for this. Right, so that's the cool blueprint. This is of course part of my blueprint package, but we also designed here, so if you are a patron, you can just download the blueprint. If you're not a patron, you saw what we did, and you can replete it if you feel like it, or improve it if you have something that's even cooler that you can make out of this. At least it's for inspiration. So with that, thank you very much for watching. We answered that big question of what is better, productivity or quality for our designs here. I made the adaptation, and then we cleaned up all of the other planets for all of their random modules that we will now be junking or throwing down here on Nauvis, and then recycling. So with that, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, take care, and as always, stay effective.